Hey guys, welcome back to another one. My name's Braden and I'm an artist. So, how to easily draw the eyes. The Asaro Method is a method that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. But if you have, then you already know how amazing it is at helping you to begin to understand three-dimensional form in 2D space. Obviously, when it comes to drawing portraits, there are way more possible angles that you may draw than just these humble three, but these three, the straight-on angle, the three-quarter turn angle, and the profile angle are the three most common angles that you will come across in your art career. So, what to expect? In this one, I'm going to take you through. We're going to start off with the straight-on angle, and I'm going to show you how you can start to draw your nose bridge. Once you have the nose bridge drawn in, then I'm going to show you how you can plug that plane into the tear ducts of the eye. And then from there, going up and framing the two-dimensional shape of the eyebrows. Once you have those eyebrows drawn in, then the rest is pretty simple. I'm going to show you how you can draw lines that will help you to frame each one of the three planes that construct each eye. Once that's done, I'm going to show you how to do it in a three-quarter turn angle. And then of course, I'm going to show you how to do it in a profile angle. My hope with this video is that once you've watched it once or twice and you've started to sketch your own Asaro planes from reference photos that you're drawing, that it kind of becomes ingrained, right? It becomes solidified in your mind so that moving forward, when you go to tackle a reference drawing, you will see it and start to think about it and draw it with the Asaro method in mind. That's pretty much it. Make sure before we dive into this one that you like, subscribe, and then turn on all those notifications so that you never miss when my latest and greatest videos hit the channel here at Mr. Creations. All right, let's draw some eyes. Okay, so we have our reference, and we're going to start by drawing in the sides of the bridge of the nose. And we're going to make sure that the sides of the bridge of the nose line up with the tear ducts here. Then we're just going to attach them just like this here. Because this is the start of that first plane that we'll see. And then of course you can attach both ends of the nose bridge. And then once we have that drawn in, a good best practice is you want to identify the basic shape of the eyebrows. So this is one way that you can do that. It's important to note that at this point in your portrait, you should not be concerned with details, right? As it stands right now, this step will come after you have drawn your Loomis head. However, we are still concerned with making sure that our basic shape and our proportions are accurate. And so, once we have those drawn in, we can start to draw down the first plane here, as we can see. And then when it comes to the second plane, the Asaro method has a temple plane here that attaches through from the top of the eyebrow to the bottom, just like this. And this is true on both sides, okay? Because what we're doing is we're more or less framing these eyes from top to bottom. And then from the edge of the eye over, from the edge of the eye over. Okay. Now, once we've reached this step in the process, we are going to take our pencil and we're simply going to attach these just like this here. Pull it over from that one to that one, and that one to that one. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to pull it over, attach that one there, and attach this one here. And then once the top of the eye is drawn in, then you can solidify the bottom of your eye. And this might take some practice, to get that proportion the way that you want it. But in theory, right, this is exactly how the Asaro planes are drawn in to structure and frame your eyes after you've drawn in your basic Loomis head. Structure is everything. The framework is everything. And here's a little teaser. What you can do is you can start to pull down the Asaro plane for the ridge of the nose, right? But we're going to save that for another video. Okay, so that first angle was a straight on angle, and now our second angle is going to be a 3/4 turn. So just like before, we want to start from the corner of the eyebrow. We're going to want to pull down, identify the bridge of the nose. Then we're going to align our tear ducts of our eye with roughly the bottom of the nose bridge plane. Once we have that, we're going to draw in the basic shape of our eyebrows. We're not worried about detail. We just want the shape so that we can frame the eyes. Because once we have the eyebrows drawn in just like this makes it much easier for us to start to bring down and identify exactly where those planes meet each other. So there's our first plane right there. And then, like I was mentioning with the Asaro temple plane, we're going to bring that down over the top. We're going to pull it through the eyebrow, just like that. Just like that. And then here on the other side, it's a slightly different angle, but that's why we're doing this. Okay, and then of course from the edge of the eyebrow roughly to the corner of the eye. And then once we have those drawn in and identified, then we're just going to attach them. Just attach this one here, that one there. And actually, while we're here, I'm going to pull this down and then up. So that kind of gives us an idea of the edge of the face and for this specific angle. Then we're going to attach this plane to that plane. Perfect. And then this plane to that plane. Wonderful. And then, of course, seeing as how we're building the framework of the eyes from top to bottom, this is how we're going to finish it off, just like this. Now, obviously, there are details and stuff, but that is for another video. This is just to teach you how to start thinking about the way the Asaro planes affect your reference. Because how they affect your reference will affect your drawing. And this will help elevate your sketches from that basic two-dimensional shape, right? And this will be the second step to getting you to start to convey that three-dimensional form, right? Start to bring volume to your drawings and whatnot. Those are essentially the three different planes. Okay, So last but certainly not least, is the profile angle. Profile angles, when it comes to this method, in my opinion, are probably the hardest just because symmetry goes out the door, right? So we can't really use that to help us cement anything. But we're just going to stick to our guns, right? We're going to stick to the principles here. And then we're going to extend from the nose bridge over, and we're going to identify the basic shape of our eyebrows. For this reference photo, they look something like this. And then we're just going to pull this down and over. And that's another thing to be conscious of, is every single person has their own unique eye shape. The eye is shaped differently. Sometimes the eyelids are shaped differently. This method allows for you to manipulate it, and it's the proportion that changes. Principally, they're structured the same, right? So like say, for example, here we're going to pull this down from the temple plane, and then because the eyelid is the way that it is, I'm actually going to pull that plane over the top of the eyelid. Just like this, see? Principally, it's the same. Proportions are slightly different. But then you just pull this up like that, pull it over to attach that. But this will come with time, right? The more you start to lean into the Asaro method to structure your eyes, the more confident you'll become with it, where you'll start to use it or not use it in this way or that way. And that's where the art of the approach really comes into play, right? You are the art, the way you interpret methods for yourself, as long as they work and they convey the aesthetic that you please. That is all that matters. Stay happy, stay healthy, and remember, never stop drawing.